Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's graduation ceremony for the Monroe County Sheriff's Office Jail Class 55. I am Patricio Rojas Jr., the Commander of Staff Services. On behalf of Sheriff Baxter and the members of the graduating class, I would like to thank you for being here to show your support and for celebrating with us as we recognize the outstanding achievements of these members of the Sheriff's Office. If you please stand as the Keystone Club, Police and Drums, and the Monroe County Sheriff's Office Honor Guard present our national colors. All uniformed personnel, please follow the commands of the Honor Guard. The national anthem will be sung by Deputy Kelly Belvasari. Honor Guard, present colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing as the MCSO Chaplain, Deputy Kevin Cudney, offers the invocation.
Let us pray. Lord, bless this time together as we celebrate the graduation of Jail Recruit Class 55. We celebrate this day, the pride that these recruits have in this moment. Let it be the fuel that propels them throughout their careers. Always remind them as they wear this uniform that they represent peace, fairness, and justice. Amen.
Please be seated. I would like to introduce the Monroe County Sheriff's Office Director of Communications, Amy Young, who will serve as our MC for today's graduation.
Thank you, Commander Rojas, and welcome everyone. I'd like to take a moment to introduce our honored guests, as well as members of the Sheriff's Office command staff who are with us today. Monroe County Executive Adam Bello, Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter, Under Sheriff Corey Brown, Chief Deputy Michael Fowler, Court Bureau Chief Dale Earn, Civil Bureau Chief Phil Gambato, Jail Superintendent Maurice Leone, Major of Jail Administration Edward Krenzer, and Major of Jail Operations Salvatore Amator. I would also like to recognize members of the Sheriff's Office Association of Retirees, or SOAR, and the Monroe County Sheriff's Foundation. Thank you again for your support. At this time, I'd like to give special thanks to Law Enforcement Program Coordinator Dan Carlson. Dan and his staff have provided outstanding support, equipment, and facilities to make the entire Academy experience possible. Thank you, Dan, for all you do. As a deputy sheriff, your conduct on duty and off duty is expected to be of the highest standards. Here to remind you of this obligation is Class Captain Deputy Terrell Tross, who will read the Code of Ethics.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'll be reading the Code of Ethics of the Officer of the Sheriff. As constitutionally elected sheriff, I recognize and accept that I am given a special trust and confidence by the citizens and employees who I have been elected to serve, represent, and manage. The trust and confidence is my bond to ensure that I shall behave and act according to the highest personal and professional standards. In furtherance of this pledge, I will abide by the following Code of Ethics. I will ensure that I and my employees in the performance of our duties will enforce and administer the law according to the standards of the U.S. Constitution, applicable state constitutions and statutes, so that equal protection of the law is guaranteed to everyone. To that end, I shall not permit personal opinions, party affiliations, or considerations of the statutes of others to alter or lessen the standard of treatment of others. I shall establish, promulgate, and enforce a set of standards of behavior of my employees which will govern the overall management and operation of the law enforcement functions and court-related activities and corrections operations in my agency. I shall not tolerate nor condone brutal or inhuman treatment of others by my employees, nor shall I permit or condone inhuman or brutal treatment of inmates in my care and custody. I shall strictly adhere to standards of fairness and integrity in the conduct of campaigns for election, and I shall conform to all applicable statutory standards of elections, financing, and reporting so that the office of sheriff is not harmed by the actions of myself or others. I shall routinely conduct or have conducted an internal and external audit of the public funds entrusted to my care and publish this information so that the citizens can be informed about my stewardship of these funds. I shall follow the accepted principle, efficient and effective administration and management as the principal criteria of my judgment and decisions in the allocations of resources, services in the law enforcement, court-related, and corrections functions of my office. I shall hire and promote only the employees of others who are the very best candidates for the position according to accepted standards of objectivity and merit. I shall not permit others factors to influence hiring and promotion practices. I shall ensure that all employees are granted and receive relevant training, supervision in the performance of their duties so that competent and excellent service is provided by the Office of Sheriff. I shall ensure that during my tenure as a sheriff, I shall not use the Office of Sheriff for private gain. I shall not accept donations from appointed staff. I shall not allow appointed staff to serve on political committees. I accept and will adhere to this code of ethics. In so doing, I also accept responsibility for encouraging others in my profession to abide by this code. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Tross. It is now my pleasure to welcome Monroe County Executive Adam Bello to the stage for his remarks.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you, Amy, for that introduction. I want to start by thanking our Sheriff Todd Baxter and his leadership team in the Sheriff's Department. We have such a wonderful working relationship with our sheriff, who is dedicated and cares about this community and cares about the men and women in the Sheriff's Office who step up every day to serve and protect this community. So let's give a round of applause to Sheriff Baxter, the superintendent, the undersheriff. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate your partnership, your collaboration, as we work together for this community. I want to thank all of those who are part of the training, guiding, and preparing for the Jail Recruit Class 55. Today's graduates, congratulations to each and every one of you, and welcome to the Monroe County team. As I look at all of our graduates today, I'm confident that our Sheriff's Office is bringing on top-tier recruits who are going to serve this community well. I know this process has not been easy, but all of you have committed yourself to successfully completing a rigorous training program, and today is that culmination of your hard work. The work that you will do as a deputy will be difficult, but it is critically important. You have an opportunity to help rehabilitate individuals while keeping our residents safe. Those of you who choose careers in public service feel a calling to give back to your community and to make it a better place. And for those who chose to enter law enforcement, we ask a lot more of you. We know that there are times that you're going to miss family events, and as you've gone through this journey, you probably already have. There's times that you have to stay late, you're going to have to go in early, and there are going to be times where you put yourself at risk. And we as a community have an obligation to thank you and recognize you for that service. You are entering a profession of immense responsibility. You are entrusted with maintaining order in environments that are often unpredictable and environments that are challenging. You'll be called upon to exercise good judgment, to resolve conflicts, and to ensure the safety of both the individuals in your care and the safety of your fellow deputies around you. There are not a lot of people who are willing to do that, and I'm grateful for the dedicated members like you who have answered that call to serve. Remember, your work will also require a deep well of empathy and understanding. Behind every uniform and behind every cell door is a human story, a story of struggle, redemption, and potential. As jail deputies, you have that unique opportunity to serve not just as enforcers of rules, but as agents of positive change. Your professionalism and fairness is going to inspire hope, encourage rehabilitation, and you will make a profound difference in the lives of everyone that you encounter. Because of your dedication and your willingness to engage in public service, our community is able to enjoy a sense of security, freedom, and peace of mind. So I will forever be thankful to your commitment to keeping Monroe County safe and for the professionalism and compassion that you will show to the people that you interact with every day. I would also like to thank our families. I want to thank you for your love, support, and guidance that you have given our deputies through their journey to help them support them to where they are today and the continued support and sacrifice that you're going to make throughout their career. I am proud to be here as you all begin your journey, and I'm grateful for your hard work and sacrifice. And I ask you to please take pride of the role that you are playing within our justice system, because I have all the pride in the world that I get to call you a coworker. So I wish you all the very best. May God bless you, and God bless your families.
Thank you, County Executive Bello. It is now my honor to invite Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter to the podium for his remarks.
Thank you, Amy, and thank you, County Executive. Really, it almost sounds cliche. I don't know if we could have a better partner in government to support law enforcement than the County Executive and the County Ledge that we have right now. We brag all the time about 7 successful contracts we've gotten for our sheriff's deputies and civilian staff in the last 7 years, and that's not the way it's normally done. But the fact is, we know we got to honor and take care of these men and women that are willing to step up to the plate and serve us as public servants that are willing to give it all at a moment's notice. And at least we could do is take care of them and take care of their families. So on behalf of the Sheriff's Office, County Exec, and the Ledge, we really appreciate what you're doing for us. To the men and women today, well, actually a few months ago, we swore them in as sheriff's deputies. They raised their right hand and swore an oath to our Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York. Today, we make them peace officers in New York State. We give them authority. We give them power granted them by the state and the training staff out at the training center. But I just want to reflect on that oath that we took. What a unique thing in law enforcement is a sheriff's position. A sheriff's position is an elected official. I'm an office holder in the county, all right? But I'm elected by 750,000 people in New York State, or in the county of Monroe. So my power as sheriff, not the chief of police or something, my power as sheriff is granted by the people, not a politician, not a political group. So we directly work, and then I deputize, just want to understand the terms here, then I deputize these young men and women, some a little older than others, to be sheriff's deputies. They take the authority and power from me, but I delegate them, but I actually get the power from you and to the other 750,000 people we represent. And that's unique in law enforcement, that we represent the people. And every 4 years you get a choice, you like it or not, you get a choice of who your sheriff is. And that's the way it should be. I think that's the right way to do business when you give this much power. But I want them and you to understand that they now are taking their power, although they're peace officers, they're actually taking their power from you guys and your family members and your neighbors and your constituents out there. And that's very important, that when we think about a deputy and wearing a star as opposed to a badge, it's a little different, and that's the way it should be. I was just doing an interview for a podcast right before I came here, and they asked me, what's the most difficult thing you've had to do as a sheriff? And I said, or as a police officer, I've been here almost 40 years doing law enforcement. I said, 2020. I just summed it up, the year of 2020. We had 6 massive reforms come down the pipe, massive criminal justice reforms. One reform was screw up any organization. 6 massive reforms come down. Then we had this crazy thing called COVID. Remember that? Yeah. I know you just got a headache. That's humor, folks. You can laugh at my jokes. They're funny. We got this thing called COVID. And by the way, jail deputies, we had this thing called COVID in the jail, just like everybody else had, and we had COVID positive units. The whole organization, the whole housing area was COVID positive. And then we asked these fine people called jail deputies, hey, why don't you go in there with an N95 mask on, hang out there for 8 hours, make sure they're safe and secure, and take a shower and go home and see your kids and family, right? Think about the stress. Think about what we asked these guys and gals to do. And they did it. They stepped up to the plate and they kept the place safe and secure during what was one of the most difficult times you could possibly put into a jail. And that's a very contagious, very scary at the beginning of it, virus running around here, right? And it was hurting people. And then we had the civil unrest from the murder we seen come out of Minneapolis. And then we had more civil unrest in September. And it went on for months and months, right? And I had the honor and privilege to try and lead men and women that will give it all through that chaos. And this ain't about me. Where the story is going is somewhere in that story, these guys and gals were sitting home going, what do I want to do with my future? And they decided to become law enforcement officers. After experiencing and seeing that, they stepped up to the plate. And not a lot of people are doing that nowadays. But the fact that these guys and gals would step up to the plate after watching 2020, what occurred in law enforcement, and what we had to tolerate and go through, and what we had to experience, and they're still willing to serve their community. That makes these people amazing human beings. And they're highly trained, highly selected, highly skilled. But we can't underestimate that they stepped up to the plate after the experience that we went through. The most difficult experience I had in 40 years in law enforcement. And they were watching that and still decided to come down to the recruiter's office and sign up and do this job. These are good human beings. And now we get to swear them in as peace officers and sheriff's deputies. So as we just reflect on today, just reflect on you as family members, supporting them and them stepping up to the plate, and we won't underestimate that one bit. God bless you all, and thanks for coming today.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Attention.
I invite Under Sheriff Corey Brown, Superintendent Maurice Leone, Commander Patricio Rojas, and Jail Majors Ed Krenzer and Salvatore Amator to please join the sheriff on stage. will now call each member of Class 55 forward to receive their certificate of completion. I would ask that everyone please hold your applause until all certificates have been distributed. Family members and friends, you are welcome to come up front and take pictures of your loved ones. Recruits, as I call your name, please come forward to accept your certificate and return to your seat. Deputy Jovan Elkhorn. Deputy Aiden Darby. Deputy Anthony Gianavola. Deputy Demetrius Hall. And as we move forward, we would ask if you would kindly save your applause until the end. Deputy Stephen Macetta. Deputy James Matthews. Deputy Elena Ortiz. Deputy Adriana Shawbrook. Deputy Kyle Secor. Deputy Terrell Tross. And Deputy Zachary Wake. And now, would you please join me in a round of applause for the graduates? Please take your seats. At this time, we have several special awards to present. Class Counselor Deputy Chevelle Thomas will present the Top Academic Award.
Good afternoon. Throughout the course of the academy, our recruits take a number of quizzes, tests, and exams. We total those scores up at the end of the program to come up with an overall average. The recruit with the highest overall academic average is Recruit Deputy Adriana Shawbrook.
Thank you and congratulations. Corporal Matthew Kaiser will now present the Top Physical Fitness Award.
Good afternoon. Throughout this academy, Class 55 was pushed to new physical limitations through intensive physical training instruction. The goal of the physical training program is to provide these recruits with a framework necessary to achieve physical excellence that will enable them to conduct their duties as deputy sheriff jailers at the highest level. The recipient of this award performed all 3 categories of the timed push-up, sit-up, and mile-and-a-half run at an average of an 84th percentile, while also proving to be a leader and role model in regards to work ethic among his classmates. At this time, I am proud to recognize the recipient of the Physical Training Award from Class 55, Deputy Terrell Tross.
Thank you, and congratulations. Lieutenant Joel Kluth will now present the Top Defensive Tactics Award.
Thank you, Amy. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we do recognize a recruit who has demonstrated exceptional skill, discipline, and dedication to the area of defensive tactics. This recruit has shown an ability to remain calm in high-pressure scenarios and support his fellow classmates, which made him a standout of Class 55. It is my pleasure to present the Defensive Tactics Award to Deputy Kyle Secor.
Thank you, and congratulations. Class Counselor Deputy Matthew Borsick will now present the Top Firearms Award, followed by the Overall Achievement Award, better known as the Honor Graduate. Deputy Borsick, please come forward.
Good afternoon. During the academy, each recruit receives about 130 hours of firearms training that is designed to teach, test, skill and critical decision-making under stress. This includes each recruit firing an average of 2,000 rounds during qualifying courses, CQB courses, stress test, reality-based training, active shooter training with the SWAT team. The recruit with the highest combined average receives this award. Class 55 had several standouts. However, the recruit, and now deputy, who scored the highest with a 95.4% is Deputy Zachary Wake. This next award recognizes one recruit who consistently showed excellence in all aspects of their training. This individual not only showed physical and mental strength, but also integrity and leadership. I would like to congratulate Deputy Zachary Wake on the Overall Achievement Award.
It's actually been brought to my attention that we were remiss in calling one of the deputies, Deputy Andrew Hewitt. Our apologies. I'd like to invite the sheriff, undersheriff, as well as the jail majors Ed Krenzer and Salvatore Amator Commander Patricio Rojas and Superintendent Leone back up to the stage. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for rolling with that. Our apologies again, Deputy Hewitt. 2 deputies were selected as counselors for Recruit Class 55, Deputies Chevelle Thomas and Matthew Borsick. Those selected as class counselors not only have the ability to train, counsel, and mentor, but also serve as role models. Deputy Thomas has been with the Sheriff's Office for 22 years. In that time, she has worked in the prisoner transport and jail visits units and is a certified instructor. She is also a member of our peer support team. Deputy Borsick has been with the Sheriff's Office for 13 years. In that time, he has become a firearms instructor, taser instructor, field training officer, jail technician, and a member of the special response team. He's also the current class counselor for the next class, Jail Class 56. Both deputies' excellent work ethic, leadership, commitment, and dedication to the values of the Sheriff's Office were acknowledged when they were selected as class counselors. On behalf of the Sheriff's Office, I would like to thank both of you for not only meeting, but exceeding expectations. Please join me in a round of applause for Deputies Thomas and Borsick. I would now like to ask Program Coordinator Dan Carlson from the Public Safety Training Facility to please come forward to offer a few remarks.
Thank you, everyone. I am honored and humbled to be here today. Members of Class 55, I'm humbled to be sharing the stage with you one more time. Congratulations on a job well done. I, as the program coordinator at the Academy, have the opportunity to see the Sheriff's Training Unit work as a team. While we honor these folks up here, there's an awful lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. So I have to take a minute and recognize the entire Sheriff's Training staff, from Deputy Tim Romack and Deputy Bill Story to their counterparts in the other bureaus in the training unit, to all the instructors, all the FTOs, all those who made this day possible. So could we have a hand, please, for the training unit? Specifically, I'm here to recognize the class counselors. As Amy said, the counselor serves in many roles, from a teacher and a supervisor that we would all expect, but also a mentor. As the county executive said, when the recruits are here late or get here early, and it's the counselors that are here meeting them. So I have to recognize them for all of their hard work. One of those roles that happened in this class that I haven't seen in a few years is the role of the team mom, and that was filled remarkably by Deputy Thomas. One of the things about the jail bureau that doesn't happen in a lot of the other agencies is that these counselors are not just training new deputies, but they're also training the people that will be working inside the facility with them. They're training their replacements, they're training their day-to-day supervisors, they're training people who will have their backs, and that's a remarkable thing. So I'd like to recognize both of the counselors. I have a plaque for each of them presented to Deputy Matthew Borsick and Deputy Chevelle Thomas in appreciation for your exceptional leadership, commitment, your dedication to the recruits as a class counselor of Jail Class 55, presented honorably from the entire staff of the Public Safety Training Facility. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Dan. And now I'd like to call back up Class Counselor Deputy Chevelle Thomas to offer remarks.
Good afternoon again. Again, my name is Deputy Thomas, and I had the pleasure of being one of the class counselors alongside Deputy Borsick for Class 55. Let me begin by welcoming you today to today's event and thanking Ms. Young for that kind introduction. I'm honored to have been given the invitation to speak here today on what we know is a very well-deserved day. It's a special day for all of our graduates, the proud parents, and the loved ones. Today is one of those great occasions when we get to celebrate our new deputies, their achievements, their determination, and their success. To my graduates, we did it. We have been through a lot together, but we stuck through it and we made it to the finish line. We had some good and some challenging times together, which was expected, but one thing remained true. We got through it as a family. God knows I put a ton of miles on my vehicle going back and forth to the urgent care for minor injuries, but we got through that too. To gradually see you guys love, embrace, and support each other throughout the academy was definitely some proud mommy moments for me. We laughed, we cried, we joked, and we had some good conversations. One thing is for certain, you guys know that Deputy Thomas and Deputy Borsick had your back. I especially had your back when it came to keeping you hydrated during those runs, hiding behind the trees, giving you water. We had some good times. But in all sincerity, I'm just honored that I was there every step of the way. This by far has been one of the most rewarding things I have done in my career to date. Class 55, you should know that I, Deputy Borsick, along with your family and friends, are very proud of you today. They believed in you, and you have made them very proud by showing them what you are capable of achieving. Take a look around the room today. Look at your support system. Actually, class, you should be giving your loved ones a hug and a huge thank you for having patience during the program, your time at the academy. After the academy, I had to tell my family, my patience is like a credit card. I don't know how much is left on there, but let's give it a swipe. I'm kidding. One of the parents, however, did ask me my perspective on what it takes to be a jail deputy. And I had to think about it because I wanted to articulate my words in a way that they can understand. It takes a special person who faces risk and challenges daily with enormous courage, compassion, a protector, an enforcer, a real-life superhero who graciously puts the well-being of others ahead of themselves. Family and friends, if I can address you briefly, you gotta excuse me, guys, because this is just such a moment for me. This is really a special moment for me. If I can address family and friends briefly, this is one of those times where you can finally take a break and reflect. I know some of you, especially the spouses, could not wait for this academy to be over. Feeling good as a parent, a friend, a mentor, a loved one, knowing that the deputy you see before you today will do just fine and they are on the right path to a great career. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office is beyond honored to have them as part of our family. We thank you for supporting them along this journey. In closing, Class 55, you're on your own, and the training that you have been given to prepare you for this job. You are the faces of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Stand proud, always conduct yourself with respect, integrity, show teamwork and excellence. Congratulations, Class 55.
To the graduating class, it is my pleasure to congratulate you and welcome you as the newest members of the law enforcement family. Enjoy this day and remember, it is you. As you begin your career, remain focused, keep positive, wear your uniform with pride and honor. Always look to improve your knowledge, skills, and abilities. Continue to learn. Most importantly, make time to spend time with your families. Congratulations again. Please rise for the benediction being offered by MCSO Chaplain Deputy Kevin Cudney.
Once again, let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for these new deputies. Keep each of them safe, both in and out of harm's way. Give these new deputies strength, courage, and perseverance to endure the day-to-day tasks that will be demanded from them. And lastly, Lord, bring them home safely to their loved ones at the end of their shift. In your holy name, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please feel free to come on stage, take pictures with your loved ones. Thank you all for coming. Another round of applause, please.